What is going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. It's officially time for us to go through and get our O2J 5-speed for the 180 all assembled up. Last video we went through, painted the entire thing, and it looks a million times better. This, I put the picture on the screen, this thing was the crustiest transmission I've ever seen, but now nice clean silver, looking good. We have the new cap, this piece on the end of here, that'd be such a nice touch. We have a new bracket arm here, new little guide piece, new end pieces, hardware, the clips, and these are the smaller 100mm flanges. This is the 108 for the Mark IV. This should be the 100 for the Mark III axles, and good to go. So by the end of today, this will be assembled and ready to go for the car. Yep, we don't want to lose this piece. Definitely gonna need that. There she is. So look how good this thing is looking. All the pieces going back on, and I'm so glad we swapped to this style end connector versus these ones, which these ones work no problem, but the ball seat sometimes doesn't want to come off, they break. These ones just work much nicer, so super hyped on those. What I'm gonna do next is tip the entire thing to this side, that way all the fluid in the trans goes to this side. We can pop off this one and swap on one of these, which you can see I went through, I painted them black, just freshen up a little bit. And then once that one's done, we'll tilt it this way, we'll do this one, and that's good to go. And then once both of those are done, we'll tip it back to this side again, and we'll pop off this end cover here and swap on this lovely piece right there. You want to make sure if your transmission's still full of fluid, you tip it to one side or the other side, because once you pull these off, all the fluid will drain out if it's not leaning to one side. So just keep a note of that. Tip it far enough. I didn't tip it far enough. Go quick. Oh, that was my bad. That was my bad. Take a note. This is not enough tip. I messed up. Okay, we're good. We lost a little fluid, but we're good. Yep, that is that's my bad. Thankfully the paint's all dry and it's good to go, but just know this isn't enough tip. It was good for that side, but not this side. So no more 108mm flanges. We now have the 100s for the Mark III axles, and we are good to go. Just that easy. So now we gotta go through, well, first of all, I gotta go ahead and clean that, but after that, tilt the entire thing all the way to its side. We'll pop this off, toss on a nice new one, and our transmission is ready. I mean, this thing is looking so good. All new piece up here, new flanges, new cover. This thing is looking beautiful. So we've got the trans propped up. This should be far enough. I don't want to go too far because it will leak out of this sensor over here. So right now it's not leaking, we're good. But this should be enough. We can pull this off and have anything come out this side, or at least I hope. We'll see in a moment. All right, moment of truth. Did we tip this far enough, or am I gonna leak trans fluid all over the place? I hope not. All right, have we done it? Or is it gonna spill everywhere? I hope not. Nope, definitely spilling. Not far enough. Definitely not far enough. Put that seal back on real quick. Definitely not far enough. Definitely not far enough. So we must go further than that. All right, cover is off, and this is the inside of this area through here. So I'm gonna pull the old seal off, because I have a new one. And this was also silver, so take this one off, set that down there. We've got our new seal right over here. And then it's time to toss on. Woo. Super excited for this piece. So to give you guys the quick refresher, this is how the trans looked 2 days ago. The crustiest, most boat anchor trans I've ever seen. And now we've got this.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever but you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your back, God disappear.
At this point, I would say the transmission is 99% done. All the painting's done, the cleaning, the flanges, that kind of stuff, all good to go. I did toss in newer hardware here, but it's not like brand new. I want to swap all this hardware for brand new hardware and probably go through, if I can find it, do all these ones as well. And like this one and these ones just for nice new hardware. But other than that, it's done. It's clean, it's got all new pieces here. This is paint match. This thing looks absolutely amazing. And it's gonna look killer in the car. Slowly but surely, we're making great progress on the 180. I'm trying to just keep consistent progress going. Nothing like lightning fast, but just consistency. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Get this car done. A couple updates for you guys. The mount kit from Fabulous should be shipping out sometime middle of next week. And then also the parts I'm waiting for the 180 engine should be arriving on Monday of next week. So by the time the mounts get here, the engine, the trans should be all together. We can drop it in the car and then go from there, figure out intercooler piping and that kind of stuff. But we're not too far off. Honestly though, with the current pace that we're on, by the end of this month, we should have a first startup where the parts are coming in on Monday. We can put the entire engine pretty much together. The transmission's already done. I have the clutch and all that kind of stuff. Once the mounts get here, just drop it in the car, wire it up, figure out the intercooler piping, but we should have a first start this month. If nothing goes wrong, there's always that big if. So last night I decided to go through and get all the tape pulled off the valve cover and the bracket. You can see all of our nice clean metal to metal contact spots. That's good to go. And then over here, all these ones are nice and clean, worked out super well. Also, check out how cool these are. These are the Euro Tuning coil pack adapters, and these sit just like so. So we'll bolt into that hole and that hole. And honestly, they just look really cool. I love the green with like the billet. So these will sit just like this, coil packs on top. Super awesome look. So if I ever don't run the engine cover, this is gonna look super cool. And also having the billet here with the bullet caps in here, it's gonna look really nice. So super nice combo. Very pleased with how all the taping came out. It took forever to tape all this off, but I'm glad I did. Because I'd much rather just peel tape off than have to go through and try and sand all these little spots, and the one ground spot over here would took forever. So this is good to go. I'm just waiting for the parts to show up. They're gonna put all this stuff back on the engine. Actually though, this piece can go back on the engine because there's nothing more to this one. So this can bolt back up today. And then also I want to go through and get some of the SAI delete kit stuff done as well, which I found. So in here, I showed it before, we have all the little caps for the SAI delete, and we have the resistors that plug in. So this one, and we've got that one. And then in this bag over here, I found the block-off plate. So that's the little SAI delete block-off plate on the side of the head. So toss that on today, and the rest of this stuff might not go on until like the rest of the pieces go on, but we'll get some of it done today. I think one of these might go to this one here. Have to double check, but we'll get some of this on today and just make some progress on the engine. I think these 3 bolts might be new tensioner bolts. And I got some like random copper washers. This is a turbo drain feed gasket, I think. And I think this is also known for the turbo. But I have a random seal. I'm not sure what that's for. Oh, thermostat O-ring, which mine came with one, so I don't need that. This is another turbo, yeah, drain line gasket right there. This one, though, I actually did order. This is a magnetic drain plug, so it'll catch any debris in the oil pan. But this one just looks small. Like, I'll test it out and see. It just looks like it's smaller than what I have in there currently. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it fits. So we've got ourselves a slight issue. I've lost the little bolts. Nope, I lied. I found them. I found them. Gotta pull out the camera. I want to get these just bolted on right now. There's all the nice new hardware. And then that whole pile will go on the engine today. We've got the new oil filter, tensioner down here. We have the belt, the spark plugs, and a handful of the SAI delete stuff. So majority of this will go on today. So I came outside and I was like, man, it feels like kind of warm today. Check the weather. It's 38 degrees, but it's bad that 38 feels like warm compared to the normal like 28, 29, but 38 feels, honestly, it feels nice today, which is weird to say, but I mean, it feels decent today. So first thing we need to do, flip this thing back right side up, we can get started. Actually, before I go ahead and flip this back over, I talked to a handful of people about the small bits that we found in the oil pan. Everyone says looks to be fine. It shouldn't be an issue. What we're gonna do, once the engine is running, let it run for a little bit, do an oil change, flush everything out of it. Plus I have the magnetic drain plug now, so as we run the car for a little bit, but I'll pull it out, check, and make sure there's no other pieces, and I think we'll be good to go. So I actually forgot to sand or tape off 2 spots on the accessory bracket. So this one and that one for the alternator on the inside. She's gonna sand off the paint so it's metal to metal, and that's good to go. And then over here, looking at this piece, because this is what we're deleting off the side of the head, which is gonna go, I'm gonna pull this back off, and it's gonna bolt up that little hole right there. The long ones will go away. We have 2 short ones, and that's where our block off plate goes. Then I have to figure out what else we need to like reroute or block off, because there's a million things you can see that are all attached to this one valve here. I said this one's diverter valve, this one goes, I still don't know what this is. Still not sure what this is. I need to look it up and figure that out. But I'm gonna try and find a guide or a video real fast of how you do the SCI delete, which I don't think we can do all of it because it's not all on the engine, but we'll try and do a handful of it and just get it started. So with the coolant flange here out of the way, you can get a better look. That's the port right there, we're gonna block off. So these longer ones that go to the original valve, we can take these ones back out because they are no longer needed. And actually the third one in the back can go too. I don't think that's for anything besides just that valve, so all 3 of these can go away. And then our nice little kit from U-turning has a block off plate, an O-ring that sits right in the back side right there, and then some nice new hardware. So toss it on. Go ahead and do a little bit of surface prep here, get it cleaned up. All right, first bolt in. Let's get it started. I'll grab the next one. We'll line it up. Just like so. So we'll tighten that down, and then this is done. Super easy to do. All right, tight and tight. I don't know the torque specs, but it's tight, so shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, those should be fine. Look at that. Not too bad. Now this can go back on, and this side over here should be done for the most part until we get to this later on. That'll be tomorrow. The most part of this section is done. Actually though, I did see someone who did a 1.8T swap. Instead of using this one with the 1 port, he used one out of a newer 1.8T Beetle that actually has 2 ports. It has this one and 1 extra one. That way you can run the standard Mark III coolant ball on this side of the car versus the passenger side, the Mark IVs have it. So I might swap this out for that side one, or if I have someone who can like weld one on, which it might be worth it, get the plastic one for the Beetle and then have 2 ports here. That way I can keep the coolant ball on the stock side for the Mark III, which would be pretty cool. All right, just like that, block off plate done. This is back on. We've cleaned up this side tremendously. We've gone from this massive thing and all these lines to now nice and clean. Again, I'm not sure exactly what I do now. I gotta look it up still because there's still so many lines we gotta block off and plug things into, and just such a mess of things. But at least this giant thing is gone for right now. So that's good. So aside from that piece over there, looking at the front of the engine here, we've got to put the pipe that goes across, the little crack pipe that goes back to here, back on. The one that goes into here, and I think the pipe I had for this one was broken. I need to double check on that. We have the oil feed line from here, a couple sensors, and these lines through there. We'll put the accessory back on in a minute, and we'll get the AC compressor, the alternator, all that stuff back on, and pretty much have this side done with the belt probably today. And that shall be good to go. I do want to swap this out for probably a billet one because the orange with all the green doesn't quite flow super well, so probably swap that out for billet or maybe paint it black, either or. This one here, this whole mess right here, this is the one that goes into right there, which I might not put back on just yet because I don't know if I have a new O-ring for that. I might in my gasket kit, I need to double check, but I want to get a new O-ring before that goes back in. But that goes across, and I believe these go to the heater core, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe they go by the turbo. I don't know. I'm still new to 1.8Ts. There's so many like hoses and lines everywhere. I'm still learning, but we'll get this sorted out. Probably go through and paint this black as well. It looks a little bit crusty. And we can't have that. This is all gunked up back here. Yeah, this whole thing needs to be cleaned. I'm not sure we delete this. I don't think we do. We have to keep this piece here, but this for sure needs a whole lot of cleaning. Holy crap, look at that. Gross, gross, gross. So we'll get to this in just a bit. And then over here in this pile, we have like the injector harness and that kind of stuff. But I need to find, where's the one that goes into the top of the oil cooler? I had seen that was broken a little bit. It's not this one. It's not that one. It's not those. I'm trying to find it in a second. This portion here, part of the secondary air, all the resistors I have, I'm pretty sure they plug into some of these. Maybe like that one in there. There's a plug there. There's a plug there. And there's a plug over here. So those might be the couple that you go through and do for the plugins. But I want to know where the other one went to. How did I lose it? There's that pump. So are these ones? There's just so many lines from a 180. I don't remember, honestly. One of them goes to right here, the big clip, and I don't know where it's at. Is it not one of these? Maybe it's up here. This is turbo inlet stuff. That's the rear pipe. This is a turbo. I don't know where it went to, honestly. I'm not sure. It's lost forever. Maybe I already saw it, but I don't know. It's somewhere in here. I've lost it, but I need to find it. I'm pretty sure it's broken. Okay, I don't know. We'll find it. So the nice thing about having a spare engine right here that's complete, I can go through this one and figure out what goes where, and everything's supposed to be routed and that kind of stuff. I had said the one hoser there were heater core, and they're actually not. These ones right here that come right off the back side of this first coolant flange right here, those go down into this little bunch, and then heater cores right there. And I was looking, if you look down through here, you can see there's a plastic elbow, and that's what I'm trying to find that goes into this one. But I don't see, this is a spare thing, but I don't know where that piece went to. We're looking for a plastic elbow, and I just can't seem to find it. Unless I'm like looking at it, I don't see it. Was that it? That's it, there it is. That's the elbow. But you can see the bottom section's broken. So I need a new one of these, but I have one over there so I can grab that one. But this is the elbow that goes into this, and then it goes into this bunch of everything. So one step closer. It's really helpful having a whole complete engine to kind of base everything off of, because I'm still new to 180s and I don't know where half this stuff is supposed to go. So having a whole entire complete one is very helpful. So going through now, just doing some mock-up. I haven't cleaned this or painted it yet, but I just wanted to kind of see. So the one over there, that's the 150 horsepower one. It's a little bit different than this one. So these ones here are actually, they are actually the heater core hoses. So you can see where the pipe goes in right here. They go under, and then this one, I want to say, that goes to this side, that goes to the bottom of the coolant ball for the Mark IV. So that would be like this on the passenger side. But I guess if you didn't get the coolant fan over here that had the two ports, I guess you would just run this back to this side if you want to keep the ball over here, and then if you want to go around the back side, you can show them over here. This one will go obviously right to there. I'm not sure where this one goes at the current moment. I'll just see. I mean, this thing is so gross, but I'm trying to figure out where all these things go. That might have gone to something up here we deleted that we now need to block this off. But this will go here, and then I have, I believe it's this one. And this gigantic mess. This one. Because I think it's this one. I think it's at least this pipe here that will go from this one to the top of the radiator on this side. And then I think we're gonna have to block off some of the ones like this, because we'll be using far less than what they had originally in the car. But just trying to go through and do some mock-up and see where things are gonna go, how we're gonna run things. Also want to find the line that goes across the front that we actually broke. The one that goes with the turbo that comes to the front. Okay, so this one here. But I gotta find the other half of it. It's not in that bunch. This is that broken piece. Gotta figure out what that's for, but it's not that one. Is it part of this bunch? I think it's part of this bunch actually. So that's injector stuff. This one. Okay, that's the one. So this goes to the coolant, I want to say feed line from the turbo. That goes over to the pump and then around. I want to say this whole entire hose usually runs like right across here under the manifold and then splits off right here. But I believe we'll be deleting some of that, or we can route this around the opposite way, but I think we can get rid of the pump though. I don't know, there's so much stuff in here. I'm trying to get it all apart. And then also on this one, where the valve we deleted was, this actually comes off. So I'm assuming we're gonna go ahead and block off that one where this used to be, and then going down the line, like the old ones for the Mark IV, where this stuff went to like the charcoal canister and stuff. Somewhere on here, I'm assuming maybe like right here, we'll be blocking off all these ones maybe sooner. But I'm sure all these ones get capped. This whole entire pipe might get deleted. We might just be capping it. We might use this piece and then cap like these two ends, this end, and that one, and then probably delete this entire section of pipe. We might not need it. I have to go through and actually look up the how to do this, but I've been trying to just figure it out my own, which is fun. It's a whole new engine full of things that I don't know, and I enjoy it. So this here, this is the GoPro life. The GoPro in front of the heater, even though it just died from like 60% to 0, we got it plugged in and charging in front of the heater, trying to keep it warm. It's just, they're great in summertime in this warm weather, but they're cold, they just instantly die, and it's super annoying. Also, it's starting to snow. It wasn't supposed to snow till like 6 p.m., but 4:45, and here we are. Not a ton yet, but you can see it come down a little bit. Coming down just a little bit. Watch just get like a massive like 3-foot snowstorm out of nowhere.
I mean, maybe not fun.
I haven't done any burnouts in the driveway this season. That's terrible. Not one. Well, actually not one of this year. I did some last year, but
Like at all this
yeah,
year.
we need driveway burnouts this year. We got this car, we got that car, Miley's back there, we got the other wagon. Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe we'll get a nice snow day, a nice layer of snow, and get some driveway burnouts going because it's been far too long. Making good progress. Accessory bracket's on. I love the green. So glad I painted that. Your tensioner's on. Alternator, compressor, power steering pump at the bottom. And she's looking good. Now we'll toss our belt on, and this that'll be done by the end of today. And look, nice little pin. You can pull that one out.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone's like, let her pull the pin out. For the what was it? Oh, this tensioner over here. So you can pull that one out.
Because I was so excited, and then you're
I just forgot. I just pulled it out. I was just kind of moving. So you can pull this pin out. So we had the belt's gonna go. I want to say it goes under both of these, and then hold on. I forget. Spare engine.
What's in my head?
No, come over here. Okay, then we go under both. Okay, I see.
Like this?
Yeah. So under both bottom ones. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Hold on.
Might have to start at the bottom.
But I already have it on everywhere.
Yeah, I'll start at the bottom. We might have to pull this up just a little bit more, but yeah, I'll start at the bottom. Get both two started. There you go. Then under the compressor. Oh, hold on.
Hold it.
There you go. Then under this, and then a wrap over that. You got it. You got it. You got it.
I don't think I got it.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Come on. Yeah, work that backside forward and then go in front.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if I could just spin it on?
Yeah, try push right here. Push to the backside.
It's just my hands are so cold.
You got this. You got this. It's so close. It is so close.
Come on.
Oh. Come on. Come on, you're so close.
My fingers hurt.
Oh, that was a good. Ooh, that got you good. Ooh. Hey, solid work. Solid work. Okay, so we're around. We're through. All right. You probably need a vice grip to pull it out of there. Here. Grab that.
What? For what?
Just yank that. Actually, before you do that, where is? I don't have to. Hold on. Actually, let me have this. I'll do this. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit, and you can pull the pin out of there. Can you spin that looser? Thanks.
More?
Yeah, much more.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's too far right now. This is a long clip, but we're gonna let it ride.
This is the teamwork that I just love.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, so.
Come on, muscles. Sure you don't want me to.
Is it forward more? Did you just yank it? Maybe just yank it out of there.
Yeah,
'cause
just-
I think it's maxed out right now. No, here, you use this. You have to tighten it back down again. Just pinch it and give her a little yank out of there. Should be fine. Should be fine. This bracket looks so much nicer. You only see a little bit of it, but 100% worth it. All right. Give her a nice yank out of there. There it is, there it is, there it is. Bam! Is that good? Happy?
Yeah.
Okay, she got her attention to pull. So, all set. Belt's on nice. All this is good to go. New tensioner, new bolts, alternator, compressor, power steering. And again, the bracket looks very nice. Super pleased we did that. As I said, you only see a tiny little bit here and some on the sides, but 100% worth it. So last two pieces for the night: intake manifold, valve cover, and also the carbon fiber engine cover, just to kind of see the whole thing kind of together. And then we're gonna call it a night. Wait, you know it was there?
No, I honestly thought this was just some random box.
Listen, this is my
Because
parts in plain sight, secret little display
But
stash.
what was in there originally?
In what? The box?
This Impro box, yes.
No, this is the cover. It's from Impro.
Really?
I'll show you.
You just been hiding this in this little display for months now, and you never actually showed me this. Have I seen this before?
I think you have. I'll show you again though. I'll show you it again though, because it's fancy. So yeah, that factory box Impro. Oh, I don't know if you're ready for this. I don't know if you're ready for this. Ooh,
Was that your southern accent that just came out?
It's good stuff in here.
Is that just...
Look at a nice clean pole. That was not a clean pole.
I've definitely never seen this in my entire life.
Had that, and this is actual, like, it's full carbon fiber, not laid over. Yeah, so green cap right there.
Oh,
and then just clean.
I don't really think
it
you're
weighs
a
like
driver. It's
nothing.
so funny.
No, this piece is sick. I got this from Jay when he came from Spain,
That is really nice.
and it's beautiful. So, if you shall follow me to the garage, our final piece. We've already tossed on the intake manifold they've already seen, but put the valve cover on, and the valve cover looks incredible. Well worth the paint. And now, my final touch. It's snowing.
Oh, finally!
Oh, go away, snow.
It's gonna be so pretty.
I don't want to do a burnout, but like, here.
Tomorrow it's gonna be so pretty, and I'm home. We get to hang out.
Watch your ankle here. All right, show them this real fast. Look at it.
Gorgeousness.
With the green, with the adapters on there, which these will be built like that. I'm gonna get new hardware, and then this will also be billet. So billet, billet, billet. So if I ever run no engine cover, it's gonna look fancy as well. But a final touch.
Toss it on, toss it on.
Which, the brackets that hold it up aren't on, so it might be kind of awkward, but it's fine. No, so just like so.
That's nice. Wait, where is this gonna line up to?
I think there's a bracket there. If not, there should be one here, there, and then something over here. I'm not quite sure.
No, I mean it's fits really nicely.
When the original, I didn't put the cover on, the side cover here.
Yeah.
When that's on, I think something was in my way. I had to trim either here or here, but for the most part, this is how it's gonna be.
This looks really nice.
Clean, just popping through, and you can see majority of this. If I want to change it, I can just not run this cover, and then you'd have.
And then you have, look at all of this.
So I do like this. I do.
This honestly looks really cool.
I have the cover, so I want to use it for a little bit at least.
Yeah.
And then I also have the factory 180T cover. I have the Audi cover. I'll show you it's over here actually. You can stay here. It's back here somewhere. This one. Well, this is a 20 valve turbo one. I have an Audi one somewhere.
The Audi one was over here.
Yeah. This is the
That one's
20
nice
valve
too.
turbo. That one that says 1.8T turbo on it.
The Audi one was on the trash can.
This one came on this engine, so there's that one.
Yeah.
There's this one, and then I have an Audi one somewhere.
Is it under that trash bag?
Oh no, I have this one over here too.
Oh, there it is.
So this one's different. This is a whole, actually, we'll just show all this real fast. This is off of a Audi 1.8 non-turbo. This is the ADR, I want to say manifold. Yeah, you can see what it says. ADR right there. A lot of people use the 1.8 non-turbo AGN, which is like all smooth, looks cool, but I don't want to cover, so this one is similar to, I'm stepping on everything. This one's similar to this one, minus the port on this side and the little like race piece. Yeah. So a bit cleaner than this one with less ports and less like pieces there, but this one, right there. This one actually comes with its own little cover, which is cool. So at some point, maybe I'll run this one because like that could be kind of cool. Just something different.
Just a little one, yeah?
Yeah, a nice like small one, but this does not fit on here because of that piece, but maybe I'll paint this one and at some point swap it off. I don't think anyone's really running that cover because it's not super sought after, I don't think. But for the most part, this will be how it comes out the first variation of it, which I think looks
Looks
very
really
nice.
nice.
Ooh, I can see little green right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
Which
looks really
once
nice.
the side cover, once this is on, I don't know if we'll see that, to be honest with you. I think this might cover that up.
Oh.
Do a little trade here. So I can toss this on. This might go over. Yeah, it goes over.
Oh
it.
yeah, it does. Okay.
So you probably won't see that. I know I had to trim something. This is kind of off. I need to get. I don't know now. No, my hands are dirty, and I'm upset. Okay. Well, I think this will end today's video. I think it's a very good stopping point. The engine looks beautiful. Love it. Love the paint match. You can see just a little bit of this down through there, and the paint match cap is so sick. Such a nice little touch. I know some people are to say run with no cover, and I will say with no cover, it does also look very, very cool, but I have to make sure all this is clean. I don't like messy which this covers most of that. But at some point when I'm not running this or I'm not running one of those ones, I kind of want to swap back and forth into it like best. But at some point we'll run just like this, which I think will look super good. But for the first variation, it'll have this, which honestly this thing fits great. It looks good. I like how it's just like straight carbon fiber. I do love the logo and the lettering over here, but I like how there's just like nothing on this and it's just like straight carbon fiber, which is sick. What'd you think?
That looks really good.
Not too bad for the first 180.
Yeah.
Not too bad. So tomorrow my oil pan gasket, oil pickup tube, and our new cam tensioner will be here. So tomorrow we should be able to get pretty much all of this together for the most part. And then the mounts for the engine itself should be shipping out sometime middle of this kind of week. So possibly by the end of this week, early next week coming up, we might be able to toss this in the car and hopefully still have our first startup by the end of this month. Seems pretty realistic, unless we have some sort of like weird hiccup, which things definitely do happen. We're just taking our time going through it. I do still want to go through and check the turbo, make sure there's no like shaft play, whether it needs a rebuild or needs a new one, that kind of stuff. I got to figure out all of this mess still, but we're doing pretty good so far. Not bad for the first one. Pretty straightforward, easy engine to work on. Really not too bad. But with that, gonna end the video here. We've been trying to pick out our food for like the past 20 minutes. I can't decide. I don't know what to eat tonight.
I want Indian food and you want chicken wings, so.
I know, but like they have like spicy and it doesn't matter.
It does not matter. It's
It's cold. The engine looks sick. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Do not forget to thank for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. You didn't even say peace. Try again.
Hold on, let me do it like you. Peace.
Who in the world does that? No.
That's you.
Run it back again.
That's you. You're like,
nope. What is the stance? I don't. None of that's happening.
Peace. That's you. That is you every
So
time.
I'm gonna need a solid.
Ready? Be thankful for every single day. All right, guys.
Oh no.
That's what you do.
We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Nope.